What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's Q&A. Again, as always, if you have any questions or you want me to answer a question of yours, just leave the questions in the comment section below. I always go to the last Q&A and that's where I get the questions from the comment section. So if you have any, please leave them. It can be about powerlifting, normal training, it can be about anything, it doesn't need to be training related. But it can be, so it's completely up to you. So we're going to get right to it. So the first question is, what inspired you to become a powerlifter? It's actually a really, really good question. There's nothing that I can say, this is what inspired me to be a powerlifter, there's a few things, I started off, the reason I actually got into weightlifting was I did boxing and I had an ACL reconstruction. I had my left knee completely reconstructed and I wasn't able to do boxing anymore, wasn't able to really play football with my friends anymore, wasn't really able to do much. So I thought, I still want to be able to do something, so I joined the gym, just started lifting weights. I just loved lifting weights, and then I always just gravitated towards trying to lift heavy, trying to get stronger. I just really enjoyed getting stronger. And then, one day I kind of came across Pete Rubish when he lifted in his basement, with the washer and dryer behind him. I just was hooked, I just thought he was so cool. I was like, I want to be like him, I want to be like him, I want to lift weights like him. And I just kind of got hooked, and I just loved it, I really, really loved it. What's kept me going? Why does powerlifting mean so much to me? There's many reasons, but powerlifting really has saved my life in a way. It's given me a reason to live. It's given me purpose. It's given me so much, never really felt like I belonged anywhere, fitted into places, but with powerlifting I do, and I know that's crazy because it's an animate object and it's just a bar, but I do. It's given me purpose, and it's just awesome. It is just awesome. You can't really put into words. It's also given me an income, a business, because obviously I coach athletes. I'm a strength coach, and and that's just as awesome. I'm just invested as my athletes getting better and hitting PRs and getting stronger in whatever their sport or progressing whatever sport they do, as I am with my own sport, with powerlifting. So it just truly has really given me something that I fit in with. I feel like I belong to. It's given me purpose, and it's just given me a reason, and it's awesome, I just really, really love it. So next question. Most of your videos are shot in the garage. How did you start out learning to powerlift? At school, college, commercial gym? Yeah, just trained in a commercial gym. And then when I kind of got my garage and whatnot, that's when I was kind of like, I want to do powerlifting. And yeah, that's what happened. I just learned to do powerlifting in my garage. I didn't learn at school or anything like that. I just learned how to lift weights and did so in my garage, pretty kind of simple progression. I remember you made a vid or two on the Johnny Candito's 6-week program. What were your strength gains like on it, and was it any good? Yeah, I did Johnny Candito's 6-week strength program multiple times. My strength progression on it, I cannot be exact with what I did. My strength progression on it was good. Strength progression on it was really good. I got a lot of PRs on it, a lot of personal bests on it, and it's a great program. Highly recommend it. Cannot be exact with what I got, but could not recommend the program more. It's awesome, and Johnny is a really, really good guy. Do you think you can combine powerlifting with calisthenics and progress in both areas? Yes, but you will not excel in either. If you combine the two, you're going to have to accept that you're not going to be able to excel in either. It's as simple as that. If you want to absolutely excel in something, you need to do that and that only. If you're not that interested in excelling and you just want to have some fun, yeah, you can combine the both of them. Absolutely not. What's your opinion on training frequency for the big three? I have 12-week periodized, but it's only once a week. Is this okay, or should I have an assistance day for each lift? Yeah, it's a good question, Honestly, I think from if someone can train more than 3 times a week, so if someone can do more than 3 training days a week, I think from a technical perspective, I like to treat movements as skills. I like to treat movements as skills. I like to treat getting stronger and strength as a skill. And with improving with a skill, the more you do a skill, the better you're going to become at it. So if you only do something once every 7 days, your chance to improve that skill and the technical efficiency of the skill itself is slightly low. Can you still get stronger? Absolutely. I've done it and still got stronger. But I feel that, you know, it'd be beneficial to train squats twice a week, the comp movement, bench comp movement twice a week, and deadlift once a week, and do a deadlift variation, like a pause deadlift, maybe some stiff-legged deadlifts, things like that, you know. Because I feel that it's going to help improve the skill factor. Out with that, I wouldn't try and push frequency too much. You know, I mean, I see some guys, you know, that are maybe got like a 180 kilogram squat, or maybe a 200 kilo squat, you know, and it's like, I mean, there's one dude that actually kind of I follow on Instagram, and I think he squats about 200 kilos, which is maybe about 450 pounds, you know, and the dude's like squatting, like, I think it was Friday, and he was on his 4th squat session of the week. He'd already benched 4 times and deadlifted 3, and it's like, fucking hell, you know, it's like, how are you going to get strong? I mean, you're going to plateau, and you probably will plateau around 500 pounds in your squats, right? Say you had 60 pounds and you end up plateauing at say 500 pounds, and you've hit your volume threshold and frequency threshold. Where do you go from there? Are you going to squat 5, 6 days a week, 7 days a week? You're going to start squatting twice a week, you know? And it kind of makes me laugh, you know? I mean, I squat twice a week, and I squat 700 pounds, you know? And that's not to gloat, but it's a case of, well, you know, yes, this kind of volume cycle, I've been up at over 40,000 pounds worth of squat volume, which is a lot of squat volume, you know, but I'm doing that over 2 training days, you know, and let's say I stall out at, say, 750, you know, it's going to be quite easy to then go to 3 squat days a week, you know, and then start progressing again. That's not going to be difficult. But if I'm already squatting 4 times a week or 5 times a week, where do I go from there when I then plateau, you know? So I would say 2 times a week is quite good from a improving the technical efficiency of the movement and from a skill point of view. But much more than that, I would try and hold off your frequency. Don't be too keen to push it too much. Hi Mark, if you could train with anyone in the world, who would it be? I'd like to train with Pete Rubish. Yeah, I'm a big fan girl of him. I love the dude. Would you say weight gain and strength are go in synergy? If you can squat 200 kilos at 120 kilo body weight, would you be able to squat considerably more at 150 kilo body weight? Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, again, it's a case of, I would say that's a bad example. What I would say is that a bigger muscle is always going to be a stronger muscle, and to have a bigger muscle, you need to gain weight. It's as simple as that, you know. At the end of the day, if you are 100 kilos and you have 16-inch arms and say 30-inch quads, and you then have say 34-inch quads and say 19-inch and say 18-inch arms, you're probably going to weigh more than what you weigh. So it's a case of to get stronger, you need to build muscle, and to build muscle, you need to get heavier. In layman's terms, when you find your right weight class after filling out your frame, by that point you're probably already going to be a pretty advanced lifter. And it's a case of, you know, holding at yourself for that weight class and accepting that you might only gain 7.5 kilos to your total every year. You know, that's understandable because you're already the elite, and you might already be, you know, competing for medals at the World Championship, so that's totally fair enough. You know, but I mean, most 99% of people aren't there. You know, gain some muscle, don't gain too much fat, gain some muscle, gain some weight, you're going to get stronger. In the context of powerlifting, how long can you have away from training before strength loss occurs? You know, I would say that, we'll use myself as an example, you know, if I had a week off of squatting, benching and deadlifting, when I come back, I'm going to be weaker. You know, have I lost muscle? No. Have I lost absolute strength? Probably not, but I've lost technical efficiency within the lift. You know, I've definitely lost some technical efficiency within that lift, and due to that lack of technical efficiency, I will have lost some strength. You know, so I would say, depending on your level of advancement, it can be within a week you can see some strength losses. But I would say it's more from a technical efficiency side and losing some skill on it, and you know, just losing some neural efficiency with that movement. But that will come back quickly. To actually see losses in muscle size, I would say probably 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Hi Mark, do you work on mobility daily, or is it just when a problem arises? Every single day I do recovery work, you know, so part of my recovery work is mobility work. So yeah, every single day. The best problem to prevent, to get a problem is to what? Never let the problem ever occur. So don't think about just taking action when something is wrong. Take action to prevent something from becoming wrong. Next question, when did you start lifting? I started lifting the 5th of September 2011, so I was 16 years old, and I was weak as shit. And how strong were you after a year? I was weak as shit after a year. It took me like 2 years to squat 2 plates to full depth on a free bar, you know. Vitamin D3, how are you finding it? It could be helping your performance of late. Yeah, I mean, I've taken vitamin D3 for years. Yeah, vitamin D3, if you live in Britain or a dark country, is an absolute must. Do you have any tips with regard to diet whilst injured? Would it be better to eat at maintenance or a deficit to avoid leading up, or in a surplus to aid growing more muscle? I mean, if you're injured, it depends. Are you injured to the point where you can't do a single thing, or are you injured and you can still train other muscle groups? If you're injured, it's not really a big deal. If you're injured, you can always do something. You know, say you can't squat, you know, and you can't deadlift. Can you do stiff-legged deadlifts? Can you do some leg extensions, some leg curls? You know, could you even do some glute bridges? You know, even body weight. You know, can you still do upper body? Can you still do other stuff? You know, can you do good mornings? Things like that. There's always stuff you can do. If someone's injured, I always would like to see a slight surplus. You know, if someone's maybe even in a deficit, if they get injured, I would like to maybe bring them up to maybe 100 calorie surplus. I always feel that it's going to be beneficial to you and to maximise your ability to recover from the injury if you're in a surplus. At the end of the day, if you're in a deficit, you are negatively impacting your recovery potential from that injury 100%. So I'd always recommend being in a slight surplus, but don't do anything major, you know, and just try and keep it very similar to what you've been doing. And yeah, just like being a very small surplus. So that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed doing these Q&As, and I'm hoping you enjoy them too. If you've got questions, drop them down below, and I'll speak to all of you next time.